2017 is a very interesting year for flagships. We have companies experimenting with taller displays and new aspect ratios, and we're one digital assistant short from forming a basketball team. All of this is cool. We need flagships to continue pushing the bar of innovation, but it's clear that some of these features are still solutions in search of a problem. If you're looking for a more conventional approach, there's pretty much just one new flagship in 2017 that addresses real-world problems and sticks to the basics. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is our HTC U11 review. So, I've decided to ditch the typical introduction where I tell you just how much HTC has fumbled over the years. The company that was always late to bring essential features to its flagships is now gone, and whatever the purpose of the U11 was is just not even worth comparing. The U11 is actually a very different animal, more the result of a company that has matured in many ways over the years. For one, setting this phone on a table is an immediate call for admiration. This 3D formed glass finish that HTC is dubbing its liquid design is a very different approach to curving glass. Instead of making it about adding new features, the whole purpose of curving the glass is just to make this rather large phone feel pleasant in the hand, and that it definitely is. The curves extend to the glass front, leading to this pebble-like shape that's easily noticeable, and the choice of a black finish at the front helps to make this phone more immersive for content consumption. The company decided to wait on the whole 18:9 aspect ratio thing, and you know what? I am not going to complain. As it stands, pillar boxing is what I hate the most about competing devices, and there is still a good list of applications that is simply not ready to support the new aspect ratio. And then there's the fact that whatever more pixels you were gaining are compensated by the dedicated capacitive buttons on the U11. This is a Quad HD Super LCD 5 with punchy color and decent blacks. It does get very bright, up to the point of offering good visibility in direct sunlight, though launching the camera while wearing a pair of polarized lenses is oddly hit or miss. About my only complaint is the size of the bezels, leading to a 71% screen-to-body ratio, at a time when competitors are pushing 80%. Now, precautions that I would recommend with this phone is not setting it on its front on a table, as the curves seem to be notorious for minor scratches from dirt, and use the chamois that was in the box, because this reflective coating loves fingerprints. And then tucked inside, we have almost everything a flagship needs, meaning a Snapdragon 835, 4GB of RAM, and 64GB of expandable storage. And my review unit includes the bonus of dual SIM capabilities if you ditch the microSD. And we also get IP67 water and dust resistance, another crucial need for any flagship in 2017. HTC Sense makes a return to power all the hardware on the U11. This is a combination of HTC design and a commitment with Google to avoid bloat. As a result, there is just one calendar, one calculator, Google Photos supersedes the gallery, and so on and so forth. Pretty much the mentality that began with the HTC 10. The result is a phone that manages RAM better than its competitors, all leading to zippy performance all around. Graphics-intensive games launch quickly and work like a charm, and even this proprietary launcher and services like BlinkFeed work without a stutter. The HTC Sense Companion finally started working for me, but the whole implementation sometimes feels hit or miss. Like for example, one day it did notice that I had an early appointment and suggested that I set an alarm in the morning, something that I honestly did appreciate. The only problem is that every other time it just tells me that I use my phone too much. Really? And then there's the company's EdgeSense, one of those new features that I've come to both love and hate. I seriously love the simplicity of just squeezing lightly to get the Google feed as OEMs continue to ignore it, or long squeeze to launch the flashlight. Honestly, I still consider this hidden button to be genius. The only problem is that if it's too sensitive, you'll find the phone activating features when you don't want it to, and then if you require more force, it just makes squeezing this phone more awkward to your fingers. I've been using the U11 for nearly 2 weeks between New York City and Honduras. The phone has proven to be a champ in retaining Wi-Fi and cellular signal, even when compared to other 2017 flagships. Oddly, I feel that the call quality over the earpiece has gotten slightly tinnier when compared to devices like the 10, even if the speakers have gotten a lot louder. But more on that on Juan's Real Audio review. My biggest problem with the audio is the death of the headphone jack. Yes, HTC, all 2017 flagships have one, except the U11. This feels like the time when this company was insisting that 4 ultrapixels were enough for a smartphone camera. I mean, minimalism in design makes sense, but not in features. Yes, I do get the point of HTC U11, and yes, I do love this acoustic noise cancellation that can pretty much only work if the headphones draw power from the phone and use the microphones built in. I mean, it's not as great as my Sennheisers, but far better than pretty much every other headphones that I've tested that come bundled in the box. The problems really are the fact that number 1, they only work with these headphones, 2, you pretty much have to be carrying dongles for everything else, and 3, the fact that when you're in a long flight, you're going to need to charge this phone at some point. And sadly, charging your phone is something you will be doing often. I had very high hopes for the optimizations of Android 7.1.1 on this phone, but as it stands, the 3000 mAh power pack on this U11 is just average, scratching to the end of a day of moderate use, not heavy. Now, what's not average at all is this camera. DxOMark claims this to be the best camera of 2017, and even if I won't go as far as to call it my favorite, it does do a great job. I love the color saturation and detail provided during the day, and at night it pretty much compares to every other flagship as a solid performer. Even with the ultrapixels being reduced to 1.4 microns, the bump in aperture does compensate. But Juan's Real Camera Review should shed some more light on our final verdict on how this camera competes. I love features like the 3D audio recording for video, making the experience more immersive as the camera captures audio from the directions of its source. My only complaints are the death of stabilization in the front-facing shooter, and how it also stepped back in the ultra-pixel hardware approach that we saw with the U Ultra. But in absolutely everything else, you will really love what this camera can do. To conclude, there is a lot to love about the HTC U11. This is gorgeous hardware matched up by up-to-date specifications and with a set of unique features like ViewSonic and EdgeSense that help this phone stand apart from the standard set of competitors out there. I'd even say that my experience using the U11 has been delightful enough for me not to miss devices like the Galaxy S8 or the LG G6. I just wish that companies would stop copying Apple in stupid things like dropping the headphone jack and calling it necessary. Proprietary solutions are not what I'd call solutions. They're only exercises in frustration that only work for companies that have big ecosystems, and that's not the case with HTC. Now, even with its minor list of shortcomings, I have no problem in recommending the HTC U11. This is a great phone that's worthy of its price tag, but the question is if you'd be willing to give this company another chance. Make sure you let us know your final thoughts in the comments down below. Folks, just like this, we've got more reviews in the pipeline, so make sure you follow us on social media and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.